dinosaurs. So I haven't been reading a lot this week, so I'm moving this video in place of my reading vlog that should be in today, but it's not. So yeah, I'm gonna post this video and then hopefully I'll do my reading vlog on Sunday instead of today, because I don't, yeah, something on my screen. But yeah, and if that doesn't happen, I'll be uploading a different video on Sunday. Yeah. So, have fun with the video. So, I'm doing my top 10 books / series of this year. And my hair looks insane because I cut it. And now it looks like this when it's up. And yeah. There, that's a better tripod. You're just on a blanket. Pretty much. So yeah. They're in no particular order. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the physical books. And then 4 of them I don't have. So I'll have to talk about them just without holding it up. I might be able to get a picture or insert a picture. I'll see if I can do that. I'll see, because I'm trying. So, let's just start with my favourite book of the year. Get this out of the way. Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. The tabs. The size. I read, like, this much of the book physically, and then the last part on audio, because I can't read when I'm crying. That's the answer to your question. You don't need a description of that, you just need to know. It's Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. The next book that is in this stack is Harry Potter, because I finished Harry Potter this year. Also don't need a description, because it's Harry Potter. I'm holding up Deathly Hallows because I have the books stacked up in a pile. And the first one is on the bottom, so I just got Deathly Hallows off the top. And yeah, I read, I'm pretty sure I read from Goblet of Fire to Deathly Hallows this year, and my favourite is Order of the Phoenix. My favourite book is Order of the Phoenix, my favourite movie is Goblet of Fire. There you go, that's all you need to know about Harry Potter. The next series I read all of them this year, is ACOTAR. My description of this series is that as soon as it turns the 1st of January, I am reading ACOMAF again. I promise you, that is a promise. I'm going to read ACOMAF again. Basically, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling with fairies. Except in this one, you don't like the Beast, because he's an asshole. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Sorry. I'm just thinking about Risan. There we go. Okay. The next book I have on my list is a recent read, but it is a manga. Called Assassination Classroom. This is volume 1. I've read volume 1 and 2. And they're so cute. Like, it's about a group of students who have to kill their teacher because he wants to basically blow up the world or something. But the teacher is so cute. He's like this little octopus monster thing. Look at him. He's so cute. And it's so interesting and funny. And, like, I tear up sometimes just because he's so adorable. But yeah, this is like an 18-book manga series, and they're like this big. So they take, like, not that long to read, and they're, like, kind of small, and, like, basically have no words. But they're really, it's really good. I love it. It's good. It's good. Okay. The next book I have to talk about is one of the first books I read this year. Oh, I read, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the second book I read this year, or like the third, and it's Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat. This is a series, 3-book series. Everyone says that the first book is unnecessary. The first book is necessary. This is a setup of the world. You have to understand the world in order to live and be in the soul of these two beautiful men. I'm going to be doing a video soon of my favourite characters, and one of my favourite characters is in this book. Bet you can't guess who it is. Probably can. So, yeah. Basic premise of this book is a prince gets sent to an enemy kingdom so the prince's brother can be king, and he goes off to this enemy kingdom and he's pronounced dead in the other kingdom, but he's not actually dead, he's just been sent over to the other kingdom, and he lives with the prince becoming king of that kingdom as a slave. And there is a lot of graphic scenes in this. There are trigger warnings for rape, violence, like violence. And in the later books there's like sexual content. And the majority of characters in this book are gay, and the majority of characters are men. But yes. I just thought of another video I have to do this month. I have to do ships. My top ships. I have to do that. Okay, sorry. This series is great. It also occurred my reading slump. It pushed me to a reading slump. I got to chapter 5 of book 3 and I was like, no. And I quit reading for like 6 months. But I love it. It's such a good book. So that's that. Yeah, okay, I'm good. Going on the road of gays. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I also read Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell this year, and that is not on this list because I gave it away because I didn't like it. Don't kill me. This is so much better though. Because I'm pretty sure I still have, I have this Harry Potter tag in this just to keep the quote. And I am hopelessly in love with him. If like bookmarked because I can't find my sticky tabs. So I just need to use that to keep that. Yes. This is a Drarry fanfiction. Pretty much. It's a Drarry fanfiction. That's all you need to know about this book. It is a Drarry fanfiction. And you don't need to read Fangirl in order to read this, because I read this first. And this is 10 million times better. But yeah, okay. So that's that. They're all the physical books I own. So now I'm gonna go through my list and talk about the ones that I don't have. So the first one is a poetry collection called Love Her Wild by Atticus. I read this entirely on a bus journey, and I got off that bus a different person because it was beautiful. I can't remember, I know what is her name. Julia from Julia Sapphire recommended it in a poetry recommendations video, and I thank you to her. I'm so happy. So yes, that's that. It's just like very milk and honey. There's like little quote about romance, love stuff, and then there's a picture, but it's like a photograph, not an illustration. It's like a proper photograph. And the pictures are so beautiful and they work so well with the... It's great. Okay, the next book I have to talk about is my actual favourite book ever to exist. I'm getting it for Christmas. It is called Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon Maguire. Basically, this book is about people who come back from magical worlds, who get sent to a boarding school to be able to live their life and be normal again. And you start reading this book and you think it's really weird and then really kind of crazy. And then it turns into a murder mystery with like LGBT characters. There's a asexual character, transgender character, lesbian character, there's OCD, true one is for OCD, just like lots and lots of things, and it's beautiful. And it's like 250 pages long. I read it in like a night. It was beautiful and wonderful, and I loved it so much. Then I read the sequel to that, which is Down Among the Sticks and Bones, which is a prequel about two of the characters that are in Every Heart Away. And that it's about Jack and Jill, and it's like sad. It's more of like a gothic horror type one, is that one? There's like, yeah, it's basically about Jack and Jill's story and how they got to their land and then they came back, and just like how everything in their lives unfolded, and you get to know them in Every Heart a Doorway, so you feel like you want to know their story, and it's great. And there's going to be another sequel. There's a sequel to Every Heart a Doorway coming out in January of 2018, and I'm gonna die. Because she hasn't announced any other books that might be in the series, and I'm scared. But there's a guy from Every Heart a Doorway that's going to be in this one. Excited. And my final favourite book of the year is Paper Princess by Erin Watt. It's a romance book about about a girl who lives on her own, and she is a stripper because she needs to pay for where she lives, and then she gets basically taken in by this rich family and chaos ensues. And the series is a 3-book series. I've read 2 of them, and I didn't know that it was only 3 books, and I've been waiting to read the 3rd one because I thought there was a 4th one coming out, and there is, but it's not like the main story line. It's about one of the characters specifically, who was my favourite character, so I'm gonna read that, obviously. So I might be reading that book at some point, the 3rd book at some point. But that's my top 10 books / series of the year, and there are a lot of books and series that could be on this list, but I can't make a list that's like 25 million books long, because I could literally put like at least 65 of the books that I've read this year on that list. Which is great. So, yeah. And, I'm gonna do an honourable mention to A Series of Unfortunate Events, because I also finished that this year. 10 stars. Great series. Always wanted to read it as a kid and never got around to it, but I read it and it's so good. Other honourable mentions, like the Shatter Me series, I read that this year. I read The Selection, that was good. I read the Young Elites trilogy, that was really good. I reread The Raven Cycle, That was great. I'm trying to look at other books that I read. I reread The Infernal Devices. That was amazing, obviously. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this video with my favourite book of the year, Lord of Shadows. This was closely rivaled by Aka War, but so yeah, this is the end of the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Goodbye!